This is the Nike Daybreak pack, which is full of new heat for the tail end of the season and the beginning of the next.
And in today's video, I'll take these three bad boys to the pitch so you can see what they look like in action, but also so I can hopefully help you in figuring out which model is the right one for you. Because if you're a bit like me, both the Phantom GTs and the Mercurials look pretty tasty, and thus it can be a bit hard choosing between them. But hopefully today, I'm gonna make that choice a little bit easier for you. So make sure you hit that subscribe button to join the #1 football family on YouTube, and let's do this.
The story behind the Daybreak pack is taken from the transition from night to day, from darkness to light. And what is that moment that actually ends the night? That's dawn, or daybreak, if you will.
And with football coming back in more and more countries, you can say, if you're looking for the story at least, that the new pack announces the coming of the sun, i.e. football, and a new day, a new season. I mean, it's a little far-fetched, but it's a nice story.
The Phantom GT takes over from the Venom and the Vision 2, meaning that now there are only 3 boots in the Nike lineup for the first time in 10 years.
So to avoid any confusion, let's take a look at the new lineup to see what's up and down, and of course, how you're gonna choose between these 3 models. Let's start off with the Phantom GT, aka the Phantom Generative Texture, which is the latest addition to the Nike ranks, and which is also, as I mentioned in my review, what the Hyper Venom 2 really should have been, because it feels like the true, real, spiritual successor to the Hyper Venom Phantom 1. Now, Nike designed this boot for the artistic, skillful, and agile players as the ultimate tool for the masters of the ball. And that sounds pretty nice. But what they did here was to make both a high and a low cut version. They designed it with a soft and thin fly-knit upper, and then they coated it with a thin silicone film that also has the so-called generative texture on it. Now that is in essence little stripes or pills, if you will, that have been designed by a computer to be optimized for shooting, dribbling, and passing, and giving you the grip and the solidity you need, but still have that iconic barefoot feel that I think a lot of people remember and loved from the Hyper Venom 1. And the GT just is a lovely new boot. In fact, my first reaction when I put the boot on was, okay, wow, because it reminds me so much of the Hyper Venom 1, but maybe in a slightly more sophisticated and comfortable and obviously sock-like way. Because you still get that sensation that the boot immediately takes like that to the shape of your foot in a very free and almost elasticated way. But you still have that very sharp and close sensation on the ball, and with enough grip to make you feel confident on the ball at all times. And with the new outsole here, it also makes you feel like changing direction and making these cuts is very aggressive and snappy. Almost like what the Mercurial does for acceleration, but just for rotation and changing direction. And speaking of the Mercurial, actually the Phantom GTs are a little bit wider and actually also slightly longer than the Mercurial is. So I would recommend that you go down half a size if you want to try your hand or your feet in the new GTs. And speaking of the Mercurial, what's actually up with that? Well, technically it's the same boot as we've seen previously on the Superfly 7 and the Vapor 13. So there's not really anything new under the sun here, which also means that the boot is, as you can actually read on it here, engineered for speed, meaning that you still have your fly-knit upper for this soft and personal and tight fit. But where Nike have engineered in these high tenacity yarns to give you as much lockdown as possible, but without compromising that really comfortable and sock-like sensation. You naturally also have your natural texture on the ball from the knit itself, and when you combine the whole package with the chevron bladed studs here, which in my opinion is one of the best outsoles for acceleration and hardcore grip, you just have a very, very fast package. And when you compare that to the Phantom GTs, well, you can see that somehow the 2 boots are more similar now than the Mercs and the Phantoms were back when the Vision 2 and the Phantom Venoms were around, but you still have a slightly more minimalistic and tight-fitting and more raw sensation on the Mercurials, and also it's true to size and slightly slimmer than the GTs. And apart from that, well, the only thing that's new on the Mercurial is actually the graphics, which you can obviously see Nike have introduced this blocking design on the outside, and then they've stuck with the lightning-shaped swoosh that we saw introduced on the Neighborhood pack. And if I'm honest, I actually think it looks kind of fresh. But of course, let's not forget the Tiempo Legend 8, because while it might not be as new or sexy or in your face as the other boots, I still reckon it's a pretty good looker with this 3D engineered kangaroo leather forefoot and the deep blue heel part and outsole, and if nothing else, I reckon it's rather stylish looking. But what Nike are giving you here is a pretty comfortable premium leather package with this 1P K-leather forefoot that then has the quad fit mesh underneath the toe box, which is designed to tighten up when your foot starts to move to give you the lockdown you need, but without compromising this softness and pliable feel that you get from the very natural and soft kangaroo leather. Then of course in the midfoot you have your fly knit tongue and the fly knit tongue that wraps around your foot to give you this plush and soft sensation that really feels sock-like, as Nike say. And okay, while it's not anything like the Legends of old with this thick and plush and very rich leather sensation, there's also no denying that it is a wildly comfortable, really solid football boot. It's basically a leather boot with the comfort of leather, but with the lightweight and sharp touch of a synthetic boot. So if you're into that, it's a pretty nice choice. But Jay, which one is the best then? Well, I think that Nike have a pretty strong trio here, but to be honest, maybe for me the Legend 8 is a little too unspectacular compared to its brothers. And while I'm probably still a Mercurial kind of guy because of that fantastic sleek fit and really fast sensation you get when you wear them, I also do think that the Phantom GT is probably the one that will just work for everyone because of that really comfortable, amazing fit and the really nice grippy sensation on the ball. And I also like how that amazing duality we had back with the Vapor 9 and the Hypervenom one with the Vapor 13 and Phantom GT. So it's very promising from Nike, let me put it that way. But guys, which is the model for you? Let me know in the comment section right down below. Go buy all of the boots in the link right over here and then go learn some wicked football skills so you can improve as a player in the playlist right down there. With that said guys, I'm signing off. Cheerio.